companies will be worth more.
We did see the numbers absolutely blowing expectations out of the water. Now, the market consensus was for 15,000 jobs to have been created in February, and instead we saw 47,300 jobs. Not only that, most of those job creations were full-time jobs with a jump of more than 80,000. So that was extremely positive for the Australian share market. We have a look at the Australian share market intraday today. You can see that at 11:30 we saw a jump up to the highs of the session. Now, going into the afternoon, we did see a bit of cautiousness creeping in ahead of those Chinese numbers that we are expecting to drop any second now. We're watching industrial production where the market's expecting 9.5%, and retail sales where we're expecting growth of 13.5% for the month of February. But all up, the backdrop was pretty good for the Aussie market today as well. We saw the Chinese market up by 1.2%, US futures were up by 0.4%. Overnight we saw the iron ore price coming back, as did the copper price. So all in all, a good day for the Aussie share market, and of course the standout sector on the Aussie market today was the material space.
Let's talk about some company news out today. We had two Leighton executives headed for the exits. Their contracts terminated, the chief executive and chief financial officer as well. This as Hochtief looks to offer a bit of a sweetened bid to bring up their stake to a higher level. Were you surprised to see those exits, or all the sweetened bid in fact?
Okay, usually when you see a sweetened takeover offer, the share price in a company rises, but we actually saw the opposite of that for Leighton's today, and it's really because of the instability that comes from getting rid of both the CEO as well as the chief financial officer. So the instability in management ranks means that we saw instability in Leighton's share price today. Now, the good news for shareholders is that we did see an upping of this offer, but of course it's a proportional offer. So for every 8 shares that shareholders have, they can accept this takeover offer for 3 of their shares, and the offer's been up from $22.15 to $22.50. But what this of course means is, unless shareholders sell the rest of their holdings on market, that they still have a stake in the business. And if we have a look at the outlook for the business, well, we know that there is uncertainty in Leighton's at the moment. We know that Hochtief, who is making the takeover offer, is pretty keen to overhaul operations, which have been under a cloud over the last 52 weeks. So unfortunately, that uncertainty in terms of management, the overhaul that we're going to see in operations, and the fact that this is a proportional offer, which means that only 3 out of every 8 shares can accept the offer, means that we did see Leighton's share price down.
Today, a bit of an outperformance there finally. Do you see this continuing at all?
And that's the big question. We are coming up to a key support level at $1,400 for gold prices, but gold prices once again soaring, and we did see the gold subsector up by 3.1% on the Aussie market today. In fact, after what was a terrible year last year, we've actually seen the gold subsector up a massive 41% in 2014 so far, and there's been some huge performances. Perseus Mining is up more than 90%, Oceana Gold is up more than 70%, and even Newcrest Mining up by around about 60%. That performance in gold really did continue on the market today, with some of those gold miners reporting numbers. We saw full-year numbers coming out from Alacer Gold, and that stock was up by more than 6% today, and we saw half-year numbers from Regis Resources, and that stock was also up by about 6%. But having a look at the longer-term chart for gold prices, this is the 5-year chart for gold, so it puts things into perspective. Although we've seen a massive rally in terms of gold prices in 2014, it really does dwarf that massive bull run up that we saw, and then of course the sideways movements as the market contemplated the unwinding of quantitative easing. And I guess medium to long term, it will be the unwinding of quantitative easing and the strength of the US dollar which comes into play. But 2014, it's been good so far. We're coming up to that $1,400 level, which is a key resistance level for gold prices, so coming up to a key test, so just watching that technical mark.